Hello, hello once again, my fellow meat-based operators. It is I, of course, Armadillo, broadcasting for First to Worst and a fellow contestant, at least currently, for First to Worst 2022. As the titles would imply, we have, of course, one of our own moderators, Baldrick, who is going to be competing against Notorious STD. Both contestants, of course, have very weird and wonderful approaches to taking hold. Notorious, I think this is actually his first to worst, who is very methodical and very on point with his shots. And Baldrick, well, if you watch the Baldrick's FFA thing, you'd know that Baldrick does some pretty cursed things. But before we jump into the main stage to talk with our contestants, should I say, let us jump into and show what seed they're going to be competing on. So, of course, with Phase 1 Wieners, it is, of course, Seed 6. Starting off in the Blue Pillar Room, sometimes also known as Dark Blue. Here, our contestants will be taking on only static targets and 2 So-6 with pistols at the same time. Span is, of course, mentioning that Seed 6 is so much better than Seed 5. I absolutely agree. Once our contestants have then dealt with the pillar room, they will then be immediately going into J hallway, where they will be taking on hardened encryptions and swarm encryptions. This is where sometimes it can be a little bit disruptive, especially with how far apart the spawns for encryptions are. After that, they will then be going into Yellow Pit Room, very super duper close quarters, taking on shields, hardens, swarms, and recursives at the same time. This is where you can get some opportunities for a lot of points or getting a lot of bullets soaked into you. Once then Baldrick and Notorious have dealt with Yellow Pit Room, things start to heat up as they then take on their first Armored So-6 as well as Stealth and Agile So-6 in Purple Room for Hold 4. This is where positioning would become quite key, and especially for the fact that they can come up from the top of the platform on the stairs coming in from Blue Hallway. And then last but not least, then our contestants will then be finishing off in T Hallway, where they will be taking on Stealths, Agiles, and then of course that dreaded regenerative encryption, while also taking on all heavily armored So-6 at the same time. And that should also just specify as well that we were expecting Dragon on your shirt, but unfortunately he could not be with us today for this run. He might be here in time though for the other run, so don't worry. This is a solo stream for this one, but won't make a habit out of it. And with that in mind, we're going to jump into the contestant stages to have a chat with our two contestants. Hiya, folks.
I know you're not allowed to.
It's in the
The
wall.
walls, but
No
What
more
on-
clipping.
I think that's okay.
What on earth? Baldrick, what are you doing already? Are you already violating things?
I mean, not really. We were doing experimentation with the costumes. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
Experimentation aside, how are you both feeling for this head-to-head run today?
I haven't been thinking about it too much, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll be good fun.
All right, fair enough. Any of you's got any words to say to the other?
Good luck.
Yeah, same here.
Hope
Good
you
luck.
have a good run. I hope you get some nice rolls.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. With that as well, moderating this run will be Puddy.
Hello?
So there we go. And so with that in mind, I will be jumping back into my little commentator's hovel. Puddy, do your thing. We will now be swapping over to the contestants' Twitch audio. And good luck to the both of you.
All right.
Okay.
Puddy.
Hello?
So there we go. And so just apologizing, we are just waiting for the Twitch streams to be synchronized.
All right, you heard it here. We're gonna start off with the rerolls. I'm gonna use both of your Twitch streams just for the sake of conformity. So give me a little bit to catch up for a second when you open up the chest. And remember, I got 2 feeds to watch.
2.
All right. So, are you gonna go with that, Baldrick?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll mine too.
All right. So
Both contestants
of you got
are
one. You're all on
electing
the
to
board?
re-roll.
All right, cool.
Baldrick getting a Taz and Notorious getting, I believe, what was the T14 shotgun. Oh dear lord, and Baldrick has rolled
No.
the cursed super shorty,
Mhm,
but Notorious has rolled the scout.
Both of you are now on the second
Baldrick getting a
reroll.
super bad luck roll, but both of them are electing to re-roll for this. Notorious getting the Tactical 8400 Shorty, and Baldrick getting the Sacco 85. Not necessarily an ideal roll of a sniper rifle, but if anybody
I'll
can
go
make
with
it work, it's Baldrick.
All right,
Notorious, though,
Baldrick
electing
is
to
going with the weapon of choice.
doing his, I believe, his final
Notorious
re-roll,
is using the
which
bed
is
last
actually
reroll.
the T8400
Same thing.
Okay,
standard,
you can reroll again.
but which
Yeah,
also then gives him the
yeah,
option
probably.
to
It is the
re-roll
same
again.
gun. I'll let it slide because it doesn't matter if it's a little bit shorter, a little bit longer. I consider this the same gun.
Oh, and with
Go
that,
for that.
Notorious has got himself a USP to
Okay,
match
Alright, so,
in 45
With that
ACP.
in mind, both of you are done with the rerolls. Any last things you want to add, or do you want to be touched off?
No, I'm fine.
Let's do it.
All right. So on that note, both of you, best of luck. Remember to not take longer than an hour. Not that I think you will, but just in case. And yeah, remember, clap your hands together or something if you need assistance, and I'll be right with you. Good luck.
Happy engineer, clap your hands.
Sorry about that. All right, and with that, now we are off. We are upping the audios on both contestants, so hopefully now we shouldn't get too much echo from Putty via the Discord. Baldrick, of course, sticking with the Sacco 85, Notorious having the USP. Best of luck to both of them. Baldrick is known for some weird and wonderful cursed stuff. Thankfully, no green screens this time. After the last time where he almost flashbanged everybody's eyes to shreds. Where I think we pretty much elected the rule to reduce or remove green screens, unfortunately. Baldrick already doing acts of absolute barbaric cruelty to some Sosigs with a knife. It looks like they've both got their rolls. Notorious getting himself a single-barreled break-action shotgun. Not necessarily ideal. Not entirely sure which ammunition type Baldrick was managing to roll there. Baldrick cutting through Red Room while Notorious is going through Yellow Pit Room, both making their way towards Blue Pillar Room now. Notorious taking a little bit of a slower approach. Baldrick taking his time to wipe out the 2 Sosigs that are there. And with that, Baldrick has now started, so we're going to go in and focus on him while Notorious moves in as well at the same time. Baldrick has actually rolled API. Thank you very much to Seaburn there for that. And with that, Notorious as well has also started hold 1 at the same time. Baldrick commanding a really a decent position there, just being straight in the middle, with Notorious as well eyeballing the bottom of the ladder, but even though they're coming in from a different angle, having a really good control. Notorious just going for the quick stab as well at the same time. Baldrick already getting primed to take on the static encryptions. Oh, some bad timing in terms of the Sosig spawns. Having to reload in mid firefight. He's going to lose a little bit of time here, but not too much under threat. Oh, and having to whack the last one. But with that, Baldrick has completed hold 1, and with Notorious not too far behind him as well. Both contestants are I would say almost nearly neck and neck in terms of their pacing here. Baldrick currently a little bit at a disadvantage with the Sacco 85 due to the length of time he lost. Hopefully if he can get himself like a decent SMG or even a battle rifle, that would be a very better alternative. Baldrick going into the supply room on Yellow Pit Room, still making that work with the API rounds on the Sacco 85, but that ammo capacity is going to be slightly limiting. It looks like Notorious got himself plus P hollows, which will definitely come in handy with 45 ACP. That should last him at least until hold 3. When it comes to predictions, just because I don't want a repeat of last time, I'm not going to touch the predictions. If there is another moderator in chat who can handle the predictions, that would be appreciated. Thank you very much. But it's also, yeah, so I'll leave that in the hands of Spanners, probably. Baldrick is just playing around with the So-6. He's taken both of their weapons from him. Baldrick's just toying with the So-6, just stabbing them in the face. This man is absolutely insane. He's stabbing all of them. I don't think he's used his pistol once on this supply run. Oh my goodness. He's taking on So-6 directly. He just decapitated one with a knife. This man is... I don't know what to say, but with that, we're just going to focus on Notorious while Baldrick decides to play with his food, I suppose. Notorious commanding a very decent position at the moment, taking on So-6. Baldrick, though, at the same time rolling a T-8400 shorty, which will have definitely a better magazine capacity as opposed to the Sacco 85, and they both share ammunition, so API is already gonna drastically benefit him. Notorious still got a good position on spawning So-6. Ooh, doing that camp, but So-6 getting a little bit too close to comfort there for Notorious. Hardens have now spawned for Notorious, not getting the penetration power with the plus P 45s. Losing a small amount of time just because of these spawns. Ran out on his thing, having to swap over to his shotgun and back to his USP. But Notorious has finally got it in the end. I believe that was more or less on par in terms of time with Baldrick's first hold. Baldrick, I believe, has also started hold 2 at the same time as well now. Notorious taking a little bit of fire from the pack of 3 So-6 that are slightly suppressing him from that distance. Baldrick, though, just commanding and absolutely being the god of meat that he currently is at the moment.
Really awkward spawn.
Does have a bit of an awkward spawn as he's describing, particularly because of the distances. Notorious, though, getting some really cool, almost John Wicky style action there. Baldrick, though, just racking that ball back and forth, getting those hardens in really good fashion. I would say they've almost kind of swapped with each other in terms of hold 1 and hold 2 in terms of speed. Swarm encryptions are now spawned for Notorious, struggling a little bit to get this to get that swarm encryption. He has taken a handful of a couple of hits at this moment in time. Notorious swapping back to the shotgun and back again, just completely ignoring the So-6 that are coming at him. He is struggling a little bit here with that ammunition capacity, but he didn't take any hits. With that in mind, Notorious has completed hold 2, so we're going to maintain focus on him until Baldrick has completed hold 2 as well. Baldrick is just eyeballing those swarms, though, at the moment. Getting rid of... Sorry, actually, no. Let's actually focus on Baldrick, because he is in a hold. Swarms have now finally spawned for Baldrick. Almost forget... Oh, just really racking that ball back and forth to hit them. Again, those awkward spawns, just in terms of the distance. Going for the third, though, he's in a good position. And just constantly racking that ball back and forth. Slightly awkward, as per his description. But Baldrick has now completed hold 2. Baldrick, again, just going knife crazy. Throwing one So-6 into another with the knife. Baldrick is already at the supply point, heading towards Yellow Pit Room. Baldrick taking a couple of hits there with a shotgun. It wasn't necessarily a small amount of damage that he took, but... he's obviously not being taken out completely. Notorious, I believe, just rolled himself a 6-point battle rifle and got himself the M1A shorty, but he's walked away from it, so I can't exactly tell what he's actually rolled there fully just because of the lighting. Recycling his shotgun while Baldrick is just putting bolts up the stairs. Yep, it is definitely the M1A shorty, and he's rolled himself a YOLO graphics sight. So Notorious is definitely living the risky life. Speaking of risky life, the Baldrick is taking quite a few hits and just sticking with the bolty. He's taken a significant amount of hits. He's lost at least half of his health. Oh man, Baldrick is getting ambushed here. He needs to prioritize a little bit on health. Rolled himself the Scout, one of his favorite sniper rifles. The fact that it's 762 means that he'll be able to roll battle rifle rounds very, very quickly. I believe he's actually already got... Nope, he can't fit... Nope, he's trying to fit the white tips in there because it's 308, I believe, versus 762. More gunfire is happening, but I believe that's just Notorious being chased slightly. Baldrick's definitely going to put in work with that Scout. It is absolutely one of his favorite sniper rifles, and with the reflex sight. he's going to be in a decent position when it comes to hull 3. It's the gun stock that lets Baldrickk keep the bolty level while
didn't
slide
realise it was that
bolting,
angle.
right? I believe so, yes. Notorious, moving slowly but surely into yellow pit room. He only has 10 rounds though on his M1A. Funnily enough, actually the same amount as Baldrickk does. Ooh, getting a shot in the back by Sosig with a shotgun as he goes into yellow pit room. So we're going to focus on Notorious while he now has to deal with shield while only having a 10-round mag in that M1A, which he seems to be handling quite decently, although he is now removing the sight. Oh, he's dropped his mag while taking some fire from a Sosig. There is a lot of chaos going on in these runs, Miami-based operators. Hardened encryption is now spawned. He's got the decent penetration power. Notorious just needs to have the accuracy. I believe at the same time as well, Baldrickk has rolled himself. Is that a saw? I didn't even know you could get an M249 that early, but unfortunately he only has a 30-round Stanag with it. So reloading that isn't necessarily going to be convenient. I doubt he's going to go and try and upgrade to get the belt boxes for it. But if anybody can make that work, it is Baldrickk, absolutely. In fact, funnily enough, I think I had that weapon roll in my Wiener's run last year, the one where I got wiped out. I don't know whether he is going to go for the upgrade though, because he'll have to go from the 30 to the 50 to the 60 to then the 100 to the 100-round drum, and then to like the 100-round box mag if he was going to do that. So that would be like 5 upgrades. Hoytastic is mentioning can't upgrade to the belt boxes, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Baldrickk can definitely preserve his points at this point, already recycling the tactical 84 and recycling his scout, given the fact now that he does have the saw. With that in mind, though, Notorious has got the swarm encryptions now finally spawning, was making good time, just whacking that last one with the end of his M1A. That was quite impressive. I'm not entirely certain on his health, and I can't tell if Baldrickk has actually began the hold just yet, but I don't think he has. Meanwhile, though, Notorious is now taking on 3 Sosigs at once. No, Baldrickk has not started Yellow Pit Room's hold just yet. Seems like Baldrickk is hunting for Sosig patrols, actually, to pick up some extra health. He's got the weapon for it, though, at least. Notorious swapping back to the M1A. He's got a little bit of an awkward spawn all the way. Oh, it's 4 Sosigs. Thank you, buddy. I could have sworn it was always 3, but I always keep forgetting, even when I'm in the holes myself. Yep, as Buddy's mentioning, they come in pairs on both sides. Recursive should be spawning soon now for Notorious. His weapons look pretty much primed and ready. He's got 1 recursive all the way at the stairwell. Oh, he's got them basically at both ends of the hold. I'm hoping Notorious can quickly get there. He's got quite a bit of a hedgehog there going on. We're just going to go back into center stage at the moment, and there we go. Notorious having to swap over to his M1A. Did lose a little bit of time there, but either way, I mean, he's alive and he's able to get it done, and that's what counts. We're going to be focusing on Baldrickk now at the moment, just absolutely spraying down some hot lead with the 249. The disadvantage, of course, with that extra reload is the fact that he has to pull the charging handle every time. There's no forward assist on the M249, but with 5.56, he's going to absolutely just shred any Sosigs that come his way, even all the way up to hold 5. Whether or not he's going to keep the 249 in this configuration all the way to hold 5, I doubt that very much. Notorious, though, does have the option for a 8-point assault rifle, and he gets himself the L85 with 60-round tombstones. I believe at least they're 60-round tombstones. Bolt release, not forward release. Forward assist is the no-no button. Okay, thank you, Seaburn, for the correction there.
Worst rifle in existence, ladies and gentlemen.
I imagine Notorious feeling right at home with the L85 and, of course, the YOLO graphic sight. Baldrickk getting some really good hits there with the swarm encryptions there with that 249, putting in work in comparison with Notorious only having semi-automatic weapons. Although now that Notorious has a fully automatic assault rifle, I anticipate now that he's going to be able to really be more effective in getting those kills while also retaining the ammunition capacity to be able to take out the encryptions when they pop up. Baldrickk just absolutely commanding those sight lines down in yellow pit room spawns, going back and forth. His recursive spawn locations look fairly decent. They're not as spread out as Notorious as were, so he might swap over to one of his other weapons just for the precision of it, or he'll just probably stick with the 249. And there we go. With those recursives, Baldrickk is taking them out in really, really good time. Definitely faster than Notorious's in comparison. Going back into center stage, just quickly checking chat. Yes, that's not what I meant by having to rack the gun every time. It's just the fact that, well, at least from habit from myself, I always fire that thing dry, so then you will have to rack the bolt. Beep to Bleep is anticipating that Baldrickk is in the lead. I will agree with Beep to Bleep in this moment in time, but anything can happen because, as of course this is first to worst, Baldrickk has got himself finally some health pickups. Notorious is going straight in now into hold 4, right into purple room, so we're going to be focusing back in on him while Baldrickk gets his supplies. Notorious electing to take a bottom position in the purple room. Going to struggle a little bit to reach any soul-sigs that come in from the top platform. Recursives though have now spawned in a relatively quick time. Ooh, getting some really good position though. He's taking scout shots already. He's lost. Ooh, he's back down to at least about 3,000 health, while Baldrickk is just casually picking out his new weaponry. Having to swap back to the M1A, getting a bit of a hedgehog. He's losing again quite a bit of time here. He's still got one more recursive to take out. This is not looking too great for Notorious. Swapping back to the USP for that final shot. Baldrickk is, for some reason, I think he's trying to get a ricochet. I have no idea what's going on there, but he does have tombstones now, so he's not going to worry. I think he was actually mag dumping for ammunition swap outs. Notorious still maintaining the bottom position in purple room. He's got a berry now, so he might use that in case the pressure gets a little bit too high. He will have stealth encryptions now to take on. Is Baldrickk one-handing a saw at this moment in time? Probably, wouldn't surprise me. Notorious is keeping an eye on the left-handed spawns there, on the bottom floor spawns of purple room at this moment in time. But not completely neglecting the top platform. Stealth should be spawning up soon, while I'm just hearing the clickety-clack of Baldrickk putting in new ammunition. I can't tell exactly what that is. I'm going to assume it's API. Stealth is now finally spawned. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Struggling a little bit just to find one directly above him. I believe there was one more directly above him, or that might have just been the shards. Oh no, it was all the way in the corner. Notorious has taken that out, but has also at the same time taken quite a bit of damage at the same time. I believe he's probably on the 2500's health. Priming that berry, getting ready to throw it. A decent throw. Not the armored Sosig though that I bet he was looking for. But it looks like he just blew whatever Sosig that was to Kingdom Come. And just exploding it completely. Baldrickk has now joined in on the action in purple room at the same time, so we're going to go back to center view. Notorious, I think, is just waiting for Sosigs to show up. No idea what's happened. I think one of them might have been stuck or even bleeding out. Oh, additional Sosigs have now finally showed up for Notorious. Hopefully Notorious is getting ready for those agiles. Baldrickk is also taking the center platform position to be able to get a sight line on all Sosig spawn locations at the same time. Recursors are spawned, 2 of them very close together for Baldrickk. Oh, he's got a very commanding position here, and also ascending slightly on the platform. Notorious having to quickly swap over to having to quickly move up on the platforms to hit those agiles. He's still struggling with one more. Those agiles did have a little bit of a slowdown, but with that, Notorious has survived past... Ah, damn it, I pressed the wrong one. So I'm just going to quickly cycle through this. Don't mind me. Just a faux pas. You didn't see anything. But with that, Notorious is now... oh, dear... Whoa, my God, I've just noticed Baldrick being on the wall. Oh, dear Lord, what is he doing? That is... you could say Baldrick likes to live on the edge at this point. But with that 249, he's got himself a really nice position. But if things do hit the fan, he's not going to have necessarily much room for maneuver. This is very much some S-tier maneuvering, though, from Baldrick. Maybe it's just on just on another plane of existence. Although he's got really good sight. Oh my God, that clear on those stealths was absolutely incredible. That I think was at least maybe 1.5 seconds in terms of taking out all 4 of them. He did have the advantage of only having to take out 4 stealth encryptions at the same time. That was definitely one for the clips, especially with that positioning and with an interesting weapon like a Tombstone 249 saw. Baldrick, though, now has the agiles to deal with. With the saw, he does have the ammo capacity, but those agiles can be very, very pesky. Notorious looks like he's slowly clearing out all T hallway at this moment in time. Oh, having to deal with some associates that is a little bit close for comfort. Baldrick is now just getting ready for those agiles, I believe, for them to show up, but keeping an eagle eye on those Sosig spawns coming in from L hallway and Blue hallway. Laying down suppressive fire, as the 249 is known for. Notorious having to deal with some close quarters action on the supply point. Agiles spawned at the same time, though, for Baldrick. Having to burst fire a little bit, but that was still a really, really quick time. Definitely faster than Notorious is. I definitely think that that Baldrick, sorry, is having a really, really good commanding lead here over Notorious. Notorious's options looks like the 3-point anti-material rifle, which he is electing to skip. He does have the option for a stock, but at this point, I think he's just going to prioritize getting health Sosigs and power-up Sosigs. It looks like he's still contemplating over what to get.
Oh no, that was the wrong button.
Oh, Notorious, I believe, pressed the wrong button in terms of randomizing it, and I think almost got, well, he almost selected grenades instead. We've got a couple of predictions with Baldrick getting a 196, Beep to Bleep saying a 194 for Baldrick and a 190 for Notorious. Notorious has now rolled himself the 100-round tombstones, basically on par on an LMG level with Baldrick. Baldrick himself has also rolled a suppressor. Baldrick's picking up the knife again. Oh dear Lord, what's he up to now? But we're going to have to miss that just for a bit because Notorious has now gone into hold 5 into the T hallway. While Baldrick is putting in some suppressing action with a suppressing weapon. Oh dear, Notorious's weapon just slightly glitched out there for a moment, taking quite a lot of scout hits there. Notorious is in a little bit of trouble here. I count at least 2, 3 stealth Sosigs. Oh dear Lord, Notorious is only on 1800 health. Using the health Sosig to go back up to full health. Taking a lot of scout hits. Stealth are now finally spawned. It looks like Notorious is like losing some tracking or something because his gun is just completely disappearing. Still got, I think, one more encryption to deal with. But he just managed to get it finally in the end. Baldrick is just violating meat as yep, that's what Baldrick does, I suppose. Speed meat is now starting for Notorious. This is where his accuracy is really going to need to come in handy and maintaining that aggressiveness and control. Baldrick has rolled himself a invisible power-up Sosig. 3 power-up Sosigs? What on earth? Maybe he already had one and I missed it, and I apologize for that. But he's got 3 camo Sosigs, all of which he'll be able to just use once per wave now for the encryptions. Baldrick, I believe, is more or less set. But Baldrick shall be invisible for the entire hold, indeed. So with that, oh dear, that's a bit of a glitch. Apologies for that. Well, we'll get that fixed later. Just notice there's a little bit of a transformation issue with our hold indicators. That's sorted. Agiles have spawned though for Notorious, while Baldrick is getting into position, ready to go. Notorious is taking quite a bit of fire. Both contestants are pretty much, well, Notorious is a little bit ahead just in terms of progression on his run. Struggling a little bit just to hit those 5 agiles, still taking quite a bit of fire. The holographic sight probably not that advantageous this moment in time, missing a lot of shots there. But Notorious STD finally completing. Baldrick though, oh, I just saw that snapping on that Yeah, I think Baldrick there just completely destroyed those stealth encryptions. Although Notorious is now finally on the regenerative encryption, waiting for it to finally spawn, taking on heavily armored Soul Sigs. Both contestants definitely have the ammo capacity. They've both got themselves some pretty good rolls during this run. Makes me wonder now if I've used up all my luck for my rolls for my run tonight as well. Notorious just trying to maintain a position very close to the regenerative encryption. Baldrick, I believe, being on speed meet, still waiting for the fully agiles to show up.
It's like just spinning on the spot.
Agiles have now spawned for Baldrick, taking his camo Soul-6, so now he can take, well, not take as much time, but he doesn't have to worry about enemy Soul-6 ruining his day. Really snapping in on those targets and just spraying down and being able to to take out those agiles. Regenerative spawned, oh, and a bit of a bad time where Notorious is reloading, but he's got a really nice pattern here. And with that, Notorious has completed Seed 6 in its entirety, with a final score of what looks like I couldn't see it. We'll find out the scores from Putty fully in a bit. With that though in mind, we're going to completely focus now on Baldrick, as he is now nearly finished. Baldrick just again putting in work with that 249 and consuming, I believe, his last camo Sosig actually. Those armored Sosig standing no chance against the M249 with the tombstones. Oh, he has one more goes. Thank you, Beep Bleep. Baldrick is just coasting through this now at the moment. I think even he knows that he's got this in the bag. An amazing pattern here, and with that, Baldrick has also completed Seed 6. Both of which incredible runs from both contestants. So now we are going to jump it. Whoa, wait, what was that? Did Baldrick just beat my score? Okay, right. Okay, yep, he just beat my score as well. He beat my score with that. Right, now I've got a bone to pick with Baldrick. Right, I'm gonna jump in now and have a quick chat. Hi, folks.
Yeah. Who wants to hear their score first? Their final score.
Yeah,
Go on.
Okay, well, I'm going to start off with Notorious then. He was a little bit faster. So, Notorious, you've finished with a multiplier of surviving that with a total of 198,691.5 points. Baldrick, on the other hand, has finished with a multiplier added on top with a 208,750.5 points in the end, which means Baldrick does indeed win this round. It's not over for you yet, though, because you will be in the goulash bracket. So don't give up quite yet. I will also have to add Baldrick's raw score is 198,810 points.
That is absolutely incredible. And with that, Baldrick, congratulations, Notorious, commiserations, but it's not over yet. You can still survive through the goulashes and make your way back up to the top. With that, we will open up the chat for questions. But while you guys are typing in your questions, I have a question of my own. Baldrick, are you trying to embarrass me on stream on purpose?
Well, by beating a score, you mean?
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah. you must be so proud of yourself right now, right?
I said I was coming for that score.
Yeah. Didn't I say that, like, you'll probably take it back in, like, a couple of days?
You did, yes.
Oh, dear Lord. With that in mind, just brag about it with your dapper Sorsig, why don't you? Notorious, how did you feel about that run?
Yeah, it's not bad. Wish I hadn't messed up that last roll at the end, but that was my own fault. Just try to rush.
Man, don't worry about it. Honestly, I mean, you were still doing quite strong, and you also survived the whole way through. Not everybody necessarily does that. But either way, it was still a very strong score, and still quite in competition.
Thanks.
If it helps, I was down on half health in hold 2.
I think I probably was about the same actually, to be honest.
I
There's one
completely
point
just
I got
messed up
down.
with my bolt action.
Yeah.
Oh,
And with that, we have our first question as well from Beep to Bleep. Baldrick, why so many ghosts? Did you consider getting a laser? Why did you not try more rolls before hold 1 for a pistol?
Hold 1, I'm perfectly fine with the bolt action, with only 3 to 5 targets that are static and fairly easy to hit. Hold 2, I should have gone for the pistol. I had the machine pistol option. Should have gone for that and just use the ammo capacity on the swarms. So that was my mistake. So I could have done better there.
I was also quite
It would-
surprised that you. So sorry to interrupt. That I was quite surprised that you ended up with a 249 saw for hold 3.
I was surprised when I saw it. I was like, "Wow, okay, that's my run done."
Yeah. We have another question from Seaburn. Baldrick, people are saying you are goated with the saws. Is this true?
I'm sorry, that's some sort of young person phrase and too old to understand.
Well, to be honest, I'm straight with you there, man. I have no idea what that
same.
means.
In the bundle of questions before, there was a question about why so many ghosts.
Yeah, sorry.
It was a case of I didn't need them, but I had points and I needed to spend them on something. There wasn't much point picking a laser, really. There's no other place to attach it apart from where the sight goes on this. So I like a nice low sight, if possible, closer to the bore axis. So that's a nice sight for it. A laser would have got in the way as much as anything else.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Pyrotic Magnus says, this is the Baldrick again. Do you have 4 trackers or 2?
I'm assuming they mean lighthouses. I've got 2, one over there and one over there.
Okay. Base stations. Yeah, he meant base stations.
Lighthouses, base stations,
Yeah.
the things that you stick up on your walls. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any questions for, if there are any questions for Notorious, do so now. But while then any questions are being written, I am going to give a question to both of you. It's a very, very important question. Why hot dogs?
The age-old question, isn't it? Will we ever have an answer?
Just look at this visage of absolute beauty.
You could say that it is an absolute
And
unit.
then ask yourself, why not hot dogs?
Hot dog, the difference of selling the buns and the sausages and how they're not the same amount every time.
Yep.
Every time.
Shout out to Father of the Bride. All right, if there are no further questions, with that we will bid adieu to our our moderators and our contestants. Baldrick, Notorious, it was a great run to watch and comment. Oh, sorry, no, before we do, question from Pyrotic Man is for Notorious. How are you going to improve for the next time round?
Try and get more practice in, I guess. Hopefully, get
Alright
a few
then.
more kind of rules as well while I'm at it. No more single shot shotguns. That'd be awesome.
All right. And before Baldrick shows us any more cursed stuff like the meaty fingers dancing, we will conclude this stream here. The next stream, don't recommend you guys go anywhere just yet though, because our next run is actually a very special one in approximately 15 minutes, which is Jedi Toby-Wan versus 5th Skip. I will be there to commentate as well as Baldrick, actually. You're going to be commentating with me on that.
I am indeed.
Yep, and Puddy will be moderating that run as well. So don't go anywhere. I mean, well, get yourselves a cuppa, maybe a hot dog. So yeah, and contestants, anything that you'd like to say to the chat?
No, just thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks for supporting us all. And we shall see you in the next run.
All right
See you
then.
in about 15 minutes.
See you in about 15. So with that, we conclude this run, and so yeah, don't go anywhere. keep that mustard flying. Peace out.